There's a certain power that comes with indifference, a strength that only a few truly possess. For chosen ones, this isn't just a surface-level apathy or emotional detachment. It's a deeply spiritual armor that protects their purpose and path. The chosen ones move through life with an awareness that their destiny transcends the pettiness, drama, and distractions that others might try to bring into their lives. To those who are not aligned with their higher calling, this indifference can seem cold or even threatening. But to a chosen one, it's a sign of their spiritual evolution and unshakable focus. Many will misinterpret this indifference as arrogance or ignorance. Some may even become frustrated or angered by a chosen one's refusal to engage in pointless conflicts or react to negativity. The truth, however, is that chosen ones understand the futility of getting entangled in lower vibrational energy. They see the bigger picture. They understand that their mission requires them to conserve their energy for what truly matters, fulfilling their divine purpose. It is not that they don't care. Rather, they care so deeply about their destiny that they cannot afford to be distracted by the noise of the world. Enemies, often driven by jealousy or insecurity, thrive on the reactions of others. They expect to see chosen ones falter, lose focus, or even retaliate. But when met with indifference, these enemies begin to crumble. They can't handle the silence, the absence of engagement, or the complete lack of emotional investment. This is where the strength of the chosen one becomes undeniable. Their ability to remain unbothered, to rise above the chaos, is what sets them apart and ultimately what leaves their enemies broken. This strength of indifference is not just a natural gift, but a skill that chosen ones cultivate over time. Through trials and spiritual growth, they learn that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every challenge deserves a response. Their indifference is a reflection of their wisdom, their deep connection to the divine, and their understanding that true power doesn't come from proving oneself to others. It comes from walking confidently on one's path, regardless of external noise. As you begin to understand this power of indifference, it becomes clearer why chosen ones are so often misunderstood, and why their enemies struggle to cope with their silence. This leads us to a deeper revelation: how breaking free from the control and influence of others truly empowers the chosen ones. One of the most defining moments in a chosen one's journey is the act of breaking free from the control that others attempt to exert over them. This control can manifest in various forms: emotional manipulation, societal expectations, or even energetic leeching. But chosen ones are not destined to be held captive by the influence of those who seek to diminish their power. Instead, they are called to transcend these forces, realizing that no one can hold power over them without their consent. For a chosen one, breaking free is not just about physically distancing oneself from toxic environments or people. It's an internal process of reclaiming their sovereignty. It's about understanding that the only true authority over their life comes from their connection to the divine and their own inner strength. Once this realization takes hold, the chosen one becomes untouchable, a force that cannot be controlled or manipulated by the whims of others. Enemies often seek to control chosen ones through fear, guilt, or doubt, hoping to plant seeds of insecurity that will keep them tethered to lower energies. But a chosen one's strength lies in their ability to see through these tactics. They recognize the subtle ways in which control is imposed, whether through flattery, criticism, or emotional dependency, and they rise above it. This elevation happens not through confrontation, but through a quiet internal shift that breaks the chains of control without the need for external validation or conflict. As chosen ones continue to grow spiritually, they become more attuned to the ways in which others try to manipulate their emotions and energy. They begin to see that many of the people who try to control them are doing so from a place of their own powerlessness. By recognizing this, chosen ones learn not to take these attempts personally. Instead, they respond with compassion, not by giving in, but by releasing themselves from the grip of others' insecurities. Breaking free is a liberation, not only from the control of enemies, but from the illusions that once held the chosen one back. This newfound freedom allows the chosen one to step fully into their purpose without being weighed down by the expectations or desires of others. It's a moment of awakening, where the chosen one's power becomes fully realized and the attempts to control them become futile. With this liberation, chosen ones can now embrace their silent confidence, understanding that they no longer need external validation. The strength of this quiet assurance sets the stage for an even deeper exploration of their spiritual journey. In a world where many seek approval from others, a chosen one stands apart, radiating silent confidence that needs no external validation. This power, though quiet, is unmistakable. It's not built on arrogance or superiority, but on a deep inner knowing of their purpose and connection to the divine. For chosen ones, the journey is not about proving themselves to anyone, but about fulfilling their destiny, regardless of who is watching or offering applause. This silent confidence can be disarming to others. Enemies who thrive on conflict and reaction often don't know how to handle the calm resolve of a chosen one. When faced with criticism or attempts to undermine them, chosen ones don't engage in battles of words or emotions. Instead, they stand firm in their truth, knowing that their worth isn't determined by the opinions of others. This unshakable confidence stems from their spiritual alignment, an inner compass that always points them toward their higher purpose. A chosen one's confidence doesn't come from the approval of others, but from the work they've done within themselves. They have faced their fears, doubts, and insecurities, and have emerged stronger. This inner work allows them to move through the world without the need for constant reassurance. They are aware that validation from others is fleeting, and it holds no real power over their path. As a result, chosen ones are free from the pressures that bind many, and this freedom allows them to walk with a grace that is both powerful and serene. Those who try to shake the confidence of a chosen one often find themselves perplexed. Their usual tactics, criticism, comparison, and judgment fall flat when met with silence and calm. The chosen one's refusal to react leaves them powerless, and it is in this quiet that the chosen one's strength is most evident. This silent confidence isn't about indifference to others. It's about knowing that their value is inherent and unshakable, rooted in their divine purpose. As chosen ones continue to grow in this silent confidence, they become living examples of what it means to be truly free from external pressures. Their ability to remain centered and focused on their journey, regardless of the noise around them, sets a powerful example for those still seeking validation. This realization of silent confidence brings forth the collapse of jealousy from those who can no longer compete with a chosen one's unyielding strength. Jealousy is a powerful force, and for chosen ones, it often becomes a reflection of their rising success and spiritual growth. As a chosen one ascends, becoming more aligned with their purpose, their energy shifts, and this change does not go unnoticed. Those who once stood by their side, or even those who watched from afar, begin to feel threatened. The success of a chosen one, whether in their spiritual journey or worldly endeavors, can stir deep feelings of inadequacy in others. This jealousy, however, does not define the chosen one. It defines those who harbor it. Enemies of a chosen one are often unable to comprehend the source of their strength and progress. To them, the chosen one's success appears to come effortlessly, as if guided by an unseen force, and in many ways it is. A chosen one is propelled by divine purpose, and their actions are not motivated by competition or external validation. This in turn causes jealousy to fester in the hearts of those who view life as a contest, where success is measured by the defeat of others. They cannot fathom that a chosen one's rise is driven by something far more profound than the material or superficial. Jealousy becomes their weapon of choice, but it is a weapon that ultimately collapses under its own weight. Chosen ones do not need to fight back with anger or engage in petty rivalries. Their success, born from spiritual alignment, speaks for itself. Enemies, consumed by jealousy, fail to see that their attempts to undermine or diminish the chosen one's achievements only serve to highlight their own insecurities. The more a chosen one thrives in their purpose, the more the jealousy of others unravels, revealing the truth about those who harbor it. Chosen ones understand that jealousy is not a reflection of their own worth or success. It is merely an indication of the inner turmoil in others, a response to seeing someone walking confidently in their divine purpose. Instead of being affected by it, chosen ones remain grounded, knowing that their path is unique and divinely protected. They do not need to compare themselves to others or worry about how their success is perceived. Their journey is guided by something far greater than envy or rivalry. As jealousy collapses under the weight of its own illusion, chosen ones continue to move forward, unbothered by the noise around them. This is where the importance of spiritual resilience comes into play, a key element in how chosen ones remain unshaken amidst negativity. Negativity surrounds us in various forms: criticism, doubt, fear, and even malice. Yet for a chosen one, this negativity often becomes a test of spiritual resilience. It is not that a chosen one is immune to the harsh words or negative energy directed their way, but rather, they have developed an ability to remain unshaken by it. This resilience is not a mask of indifference, but a reflection of the deep spiritual grounding that a chosen one possesses. Through trials, a chosen one has learned that the negativity of others has no true power over their destiny. Spiritual resilience is not something that is achieved overnight. A chosen one earns this strength through challenges that test their faith, their purpose, and their inner peace. These challenges come in the form of negative people, unexpected setbacks, or moments of self-doubt. Yet, it is precisely these moments that forge the chosen one's unwavering connection to their higher self. They realize that negativity, while uncomfortable, cannot derail their mission. Instead, it serves as a reminder of their divine calling, pushing them to stand even stronger in their truth. Enemies often mistake a chosen one's resilience for stubbornness or pride. They cannot comprehend how someone can remain so steadfast in the face of constant negativity. The truth is, a chosen one draws strength from a higher source. Their resilience is rooted in their connection to the divine, which provides them with a wellspring of inner peace and clarity. This connection allows them to weather the storm of negativity without losing sight of their purpose. They don't internalize the harmful energy directed at them, they simply allow it to pass by, knowing it holds no power over them. What enemies fail to understand is that negativity is, in many ways, fuel for the chosen one's spiritual growth. Each time a chosen one faces negativity, they are presented with an opportunity to deepen their resilience and trust in the divine. Instead of being broken down by it, they rise higher, strengthened by their faith and their unshakable sense of purpose. This is the essence of spiritual resilience, the ability to move through life without being deterred by the negativity of others. As a chosen one builds this resilience, their inner light shines brighter, drawing attention not just from enemies, but also from those who recognize their divine potential. This spiritual glow highlights the truth of their journey, which ultimately leads to the unfolding of their inner light, one that even when ignored, continues to shine. A chosen one's light is not something that can be dimmed by the opinions or recognition of others. It comes from within, a divine spark that continues to glow regardless of external circumstances. Even when ignored or overlooked by the world, this light remains undeterred, growing brighter as the chosen one walks further along their path. The brilliance of this inner light often perplexes those who cannot understand its source. It is not dependent on approval, praise, or acknowledgement. It is a manifestation of the chosen one's spiritual essence. Many chosen ones face periods in their lives where their efforts, talents, and contributions seem invisible to those around them. In these moments, it can be tempting to feel discouraged or question one's purpose. However, the truth is that a chosen one's light is not meant to be recognized by everyone. It exists for a higher purpose, one that transcends worldly recognition. A chosen one's journey is not about gaining admiration. It's about fulfilling a divine mission that is far greater than individual acclaim. Those who ignore or dismiss the light of a chosen one do so not out of malice, but often out of their inability to perceive the depth of what they are witnessing. The spiritual frequency at which a chosen one operates can be too high for many to comprehend. As a result, they may turn away, unable to understand the magnitude of the light before them. But this does not diminish the chosen one's radiance. In fact, it only enhances their focus on what truly matters, their connection to the divine and their purpose. As the chosen one grows in their journey, they come to realize that the light within them is not meant for everyone to see. It is for those who are ready, those whose own spiritual eyes have been opened to recognize and embrace. The Chosen One's light serves as a beacon, not for the masses, but for those who are on similar journeys of awakening. This is why a Chosen One continues to shine, even when ignored. Their light serves as a reminder that true illumination comes from within, and it cannot be diminished by external circumstances. While the light within a Chosen One remains strong, it often draws the attention of those who seek to challenge it. Enemies who attempt to undermine or extinguish this light are bound to face the consequences of their actions, a collapse of their own attempts to bring the Chosen One down. For every Chosen One walking their path, there are those who seek to plot against them, driven by envy, fear, or misunderstanding. These enemies may scheme behind the scenes, hoping to trip the Chosen One, or create obstacles in their way. However, what they fail to realize is that a Chosen One is not only protected by their inner light, but also by powerful spiritual forces that guard their destiny. Those who plot against a Chosen One unknowingly orchestrate their own downfall, for their actions disrupt the natural flow of divine justice. The downfall of those who plot against a Chosen One often begins subtly, almost imperceptibly, as their schemes unravel. What was intended to harm the Chosen One instead rebounds onto the plotters themselves, like a karmic backlash they never anticipated. This isn't the work of revenge, but rather the balancing of the universe. The divine realm ensures that any harm intended for a Chosen One is met with swift correction, and the very energy that enemies send out to cause destruction circles back, causing their own downfall. A Chosen One, aware of this spiritual truth, remains focused on their path, knowing that they need not retaliate or even engage with those plotting against them. This understanding brings a sense of peace and protection. They trust in the higher laws of the universe, knowing that no plot, no matter how intricate or malicious, can truly derail their mission. Enemies, blinded by their own intentions, fail to see the futility of their efforts. Their energy, consumed by negative plotting, ultimately becomes the source of their own undoing. As the plotters' plans crumble, their downfall often comes with a deeper realization that their attempts to harm the Chosen One were not only futile, but destructive to their own well-being. This collapse can take many forms: emotional, spiritual, or even material. The weight of their own negativity becomes too much to bear, and they find themselves facing the consequences of their actions. Meanwhile, the Chosen One remains steady, untouched by the chaos around them, their light shining brighter as their enemies falter. While the downfall of those who plot against a Chosen One is inevitable, it also serves a higher purpose. In witnessing this collapse, many enemies are forced to face their own spiritual awakening, an unintended gift from the Chosen One's resilience. This leads to a new dynamic, one where the Chosen One's very presence begins to trigger spiritual awakenings in those who once stood against them. The journey of a Chosen One is not only transformative for themselves, but also for those who come into contact with them, including their enemies. While enemies may initially approach a Chosen One with hostility, envy, or malice, the energy and presence of a Chosen One can often trigger something unexpected: an awakening. This awakening is not a conscious decision made by the enemies. Rather, it is a reaction to the spiritual light and frequency that the Chosen One carries. Even the darkest of intentions can be disrupted by the powerful presence of a Chosen One, leading to moments of self-realization and spiritual clarity in those who oppose them. For many enemies, this spiritual awakening begins subtly, often initiated by the Chosen One's resilience and unwavering sense of purpose. The very things that once fueled their jealousy or hatred become sources of fascination and reflection. They begin to question their own motivations, their sense of power, and their path in life. It is not the Chosen One's words or actions that cause this shift, but the silent, potent force of their spiritual energy. The Chosen One's ability to remain untouched by negativity forces their enemies to look inward, and what they see often shakes them to their core. Spiritual awakenings can be disruptive, especially for those who have spent their lives operating in lower vibrational energies like envy, greed, or anger. When a Chosen One enters their life, these lower energies are disrupted by the Chosen One's higher frequency. This disruption can manifest as internal conflict, sleeplessness, or even moments of deep emotional vulnerability. Enemies who once thrived on conflict find themselves questioning their own actions, wondering why they feel drawn to the very person they sought to undermine. The impact a chosen one has on their enemies often goes beyond personal growth. The spiritual awakening that occurs can serve as a catalyst for larger transformations. Enemies who experience this awakening may begin to shift their behaviors, let go of toxic patterns, and even start their own journey towards self-awareness and healing. It is as though the chosen one has lit a spark within them, one that they cannot ignore. As these awakenings take root, enemies often transform into something unexpected, individuals who now recognize the spiritual truths they once fought against. This profound shift highlights the power of a chosen one's presence and how they can alter the trajectory of even the darkest souls. And as these transformations unfold, chosen ones experience a profound sense of liberation, embracing the freedom of not caring about how they are perceived or judged by others. For a chosen one, there comes a pivotal moment in their journey where they realize the immense freedom that comes from no longer caring about the opinions or judgments of others. This freedom is not an act of rebellion or defiance, but a deep spiritual liberation that arises from understanding their true purpose. As a chosen one, your path is divinely guided, and this realization frees you from the need for external validation or approval. The weight of trying to fit into societal expectations or to please others falls away, leaving only the lightness of your true self. The freedom of not caring is often misunderstood by those who are still trapped in the cycle of seeking acceptance and recognition. To many, a chosen one's indifference can appear as aloofness or arrogance, but in reality, it is a profound state of inner peace. When you, as a chosen one, stop caring about how others perceive you, you become untouchable. This is because your self-worth and sense of identity are rooted in something far deeper than external sources. They are anchored in your connection to the divine. This liberation doesn't mean that chosen ones become detached from the world or stop caring about others. In fact, it allows them to engage with life more fully because they are no longer burdened by the fear of judgment. When you are free from caring about others' opinions, you make decisions based on what aligns with your spirit, not what will gain approval or avoid criticism. This shift in focus empowers chosen ones to live authentically, to pursue their mission with clarity and conviction, and to remain aligned with their higher calling. Enemies who once thrived on triggering reactions or controlling narratives are left powerless in the face of a chosen one's indifference. When there is no fear of judgment, no need to prove oneself, and no desire to conform, the enemy's tactics fall flat. A chosen one who has embraced this freedom is no longer swayed by the emotional games of others. This ultimate liberation leaves enemies confused and frustrated as they can no longer manipulate or affect the chosen one's path. As this sense of freedom takes root, chosen ones begin to stand taller, recognizing their true power. This realization prepares them to fully step into their strength, knowing that they are now ready to rise even higher. It is in this state of spiritual freedom that chosen ones prepare to stand tall, rising stronger as the brokenness of their enemies becomes more evident. As a chosen one, your journey has not been easy. You've faced trials, opposition, and moments of deep uncertainty, but through it all, you've risen. The enemies who once plotted against you have found themselves defeated not by your hand, but by the power of your resilience and divine protection. They are broken, not because of any act of revenge, but because their own actions have led them to a point of reckoning. The karmic balance has restored itself, and now you stand tall, unshaken by their downfall. Standing tall as a chosen one means recognizing that your strength doesn't come from proving your worth to others or seeking revenge on those who have wronged you. Instead, it stems from the quiet confidence that you've built through each challenge, each act of defiance against the forces that sought to bring you down. The universe has always been on your side, guiding and protecting you, even when it felt like you were standing alone. Now, with your enemies broken, you can see the truth more clearly than ever before. Nothing can stop a chosen one from fulfilling their divine purpose. Your enemies, now stripped of their power, are left to face the consequences of their actions. They have been defeated not by a physical battle, but by the spiritual laws that govern the universe. For every plot they devised against you, they have only hastened their own undoing. This is the way of divine justice. What is meant for harm will always return to the sender, and what is meant for good will always prevail. As a chosen one, you understand this, and this understanding is what has kept you standing strong, even when the odds seemed stacked against you. Now that you stand tall in your power, you can look back on your journey and see how every step has led you to this moment. Each challenge has been a lesson in spiritual resilience, each opposition a chance to deepen your connection to the divine. Your enemies, once so powerful in their attempts to undermine you, are now powerless, broken by the very forces they sought to manipulate. And yet, you hold no malice, for a chosen one rises not to destroy but to fulfill their purpose with grace and wisdom. As you move forward, you carry with you the strength of someone who has faced adversity and emerged stronger. Your light shines brighter than ever, unshaken by the brokenness of those who tried to dim it. You have risen, and now nothing can stand in your way. Your journey continues stronger and more certain than ever before.